Yes, indeed. The last day of Stage 1, 9Z in their opening game looked fantastic, and they're looking to take down their region counterpart of MIBR today, Jason. Kicking things off on Ancient. I'm looking forward to seeing more of 9Z. I really enjoyed their opening day here.
Yeah, they had a good time with it, didn't they? Winner of this, as you mentioned, moves on to the next stage. Loser drops down, and will have to play a little bit more for another chance at it. This is fast-paced. Look at Drop already jumping in, but there's so many defenders here. So many players from 9Z have collapsed, but it's still not going in their favor until Huaso Peak chimes in into a 2-on-2, but DGT is so low.
Sani just dropping back out of Rud. Safe is pushed into the temple, and this could be a position that they're not ready for just yet. He's got here so quickly. A couple of bullets extra needed, and Huaso Peak eventually goes down. And now DGT is the last remaining player with 3 health left. There's a lot of time for MIBR. This was a super fast-paced round to get to this point.
Yeah, plenty of time, but that actually might work in DGT's favor. He had a chance. With that low of HP, all down to timing, and he had maybe one shot at taking down Safe, putting himself in a 1v1. Still was going to be tough to do. And a nice pistol round for MIBR, trading their way up middle into Red Room. Yeah, 9Z had a great opening day. That was that match against 3D Max where it felt like 3D Max hadn't really showed up quite yet. They just kind of mopped him out of the server. Yeah,
I guess that's an interesting point. Is it 9Z's level, or is it 3D Max maybe not being able to perform as the last second stand-in coming into the event? So 9Z, obviously, where the main storyline there is just seeing if they can replicate success from Dallas, right? It's just seeing if they can get back into that form. Obviously, making it to Stage 2 would be that first step, and they've got to feel like against MIBR that has to be a winnable matchup for them.
Yeah, and I remember in that 3D Max matchup with them. I mean, that is the question: is how much of this is 3D Max coming in a little bit rusty, not playing their best game? How much of it is 9Z? But you know, iTest played smart tactically, played good Counter-Strike, and won their fights, moved around the map very well. Communication was obviously there, so it very much looks like that Dallas run can be replicable at the moment. At this point, just looking to get into the next stage. Down around losing the pistol to MIBR. And on the other side of things, we're still looking for that step up from MIBR to have another Brazilian team that can be dangerous. And Sani's got a lot of hype around him as well as a caller. Breno's obviously been around forever. You've got some good pieces on this team.
It's a comfortable 2-0 start here for MIBR.
It's going to get loud in the studio today.
It is.
It started loud as well. Like the pregame hype up, they don't mess around.
No, they know this is the best chance to get through, and obviously going up against a team from your own region of the world, from South America, you're gonna have that extra fire in you as well in that game, and we know they're very passionate squads. Got a little tech issue right now. Max with the headset off, so hopefully they can get that resolved and get back into this action straight away. There are 2 games currently going, as there often is here in Cologne. Imperial versus Pain is currently going on that B stream, so another South American matchup, 2 Brazilians taking each other on. That is going to be a super interesting game. That will be with Scrawny and Launders over on that B stream.
All 4 of the teams actually playing today across the two streams, 9Z, MIBR, Imperial, and Pain, are on the invite list to the Americas RMR as well. So, I mean, these are regional matchups here, but there can be some implications and some things building for when they come to actually have to face each other for qualification to the major, and the stakes just step up a notch. So not really a whole lot to talk about quite yet.
No, not
just
yet.
Just a pretty standard
just the
start.
First 2 rounds.
Second round
gone as normal, as planned.
Second round was a full save, so 9Z is going to buy up in this next one. This tech issue gets solved.
Yeah, it looks like it's solved. We get the in-ears back in, headset over the top.
Did you time them? You clock them?
Yeah, just having a little look here. It's just on my stopwatch. I've got it in my top pocket.
Admins have done a lovely job all week.
They have. Shout out to them. Keeping the show smooth and running. And in fact, it is fixed. We are getting back into that action. And as we return, 9Z finally have enough money to get a buyout. So everybody's going to be on a rifle. Now, big performer for 9Z in their opening game is DGT. Very impressive showing from him. Hoping he can get to a similar level today against MIBR would be a step up.
I think Max had a really good second map in that series against 3D Max also, so they've got some individuals. Yeah, that smoke, that blows. That sucks.
Yep.
That's not what you like to see, but at least no one's been caught off guard by it, right? No one's got aggressive, gone for that peak.
True, no one's just considered it to be clear. Maybe they knew they messed it up.
Yeah, maybe he called it. He's like, you know what, boys, that one didn't feel right.
Yeah, did not feel right as it left my hand. But no one's put any pressure down middle. Now Insani He's starting to walk his way out mid. DGT goes down. What a quick shot up from Insani. It's a great opening.
That's a special talent to get that kill, because look what it sets up. MIBR knocking on the door of A main, and the only defender is Swasso Peak. Good luck, got 2 choke points to work with.
Yeah, and he's got to worry about Donut too, and he's caught by Flash, tosses out utility to try and slow them down. He's blinded, and he does damage, 99 of it to Drop, who, with 1 HP, is jumping up on top of the default boxes.
Still losable. MIBR's got to be careful. They probably feel like they're in a really strong position here. 2 players over in Donut to watch for this retake. There's no kits on 9Z. This has got to be clean and fast.
Well, Buddha starting to walk his way back into the Donut hole right in it, and it's Buddha with 1. Couldn't quite get the second. And this is 9Z feeling locked out at the moment. Max is up next through CT.
If they're going for this, it's got to be now. You got to start seeing Max make his play.
There's no kit. There's no kit on the remaining 2 players.
That's why I said it's got to be now, and obviously they've made the call to back away. Max and Martinez both dropping away, saving the weapons, and that's a 3rd round for MIBR. Nice and simple off the opening kill from Insani.
Yeah, great work from Insani in this round. Save, trying to get rid of Martinez's M4. Trying to prevent one of those saves, but Martinez is holding on to it. He does very well.
Costly in victory, but as you can see, MIBR more than pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the fact that that's a close monitor setup. I don't get it. How do people sit that close to the monitor, Jason? How do you even see what's going on?
I don't know. It probably makes you feel like you're just immersed in the game.
They've got that 0.5 lens in their eyes that I just don't have. I got that
well,
one-time zoom.
When I see things like that, it's like you never know what they had to play with growing up before they became pro, right? Like maybe he had a really short, small table. Maybe he had a very, very little limited amount of space. That monitor had to be close or else it wouldn't fit on the desk.
Yeah, I used to play with a little tray that comes out, and it was too short so I had my keyboard on the tray below and the mouse on top.
Yeah.
So it was like vertical gaming.
I've told this story once or twice. There was like in the early 2000s, there was like a player, a Russian, I think he was a Russian player, who came to one of the world championships out in Dallas and played with his keyboard in his lap. And did really good. And so everyone started experimenting with playing with the keyboard in their lap.
As if that would actually.
And everyone's like, well, what's the benefit? Like, what benefit does it give you? And the guy was just like, no, I didn't have a big enough desk for a keyboard. When that's just how I learned to play because I had to.
All the Americans like, oh my God.
And it's like, oh, all right, we're sold a dream. We're going to back off.
Well, Martinez is opening up a dream for 9Z in this round. They've got pistols around those M4s, and he's got 2 out of it already. And no one from MIBR has been able to respond to any of these kills. So there is still a chance to pull it back, of course, with 50 seconds, and you've still got Insani. He's starting to get a little closer into Jag, but it's a double setup in here, and Max gets 1 more. Insani down low, and this is going to end in a little bit of disaster for MIBR. Yeah,
that was a too costly of an exchange for a 3v5 to come back in. Paying the price with 1 player, and Insani brought down low. Wasso Peaks take it. Attention, good kill. But there's still players here. Martinez is low, but there's an M4 crossfire over towards Jaguar and Cave as well.
Somewhat broken up by that smoke for the time being, but Buddha spams down through that wood. Bomb is now down in the open. Breno must clutch alone. He's got the right read, but Martinez is quicker, diving out of that smoke to shut Breno down, and Martinez has one hell of a round, getting those first 2 kills on that M4 and picking up a round that 9Z really didn't expect to win. Yeah, loving that. Triple kill, and he saved his gun, so he's got plenty of money. He drops that M4 over and goes straight to the AWP, so it's out early, out quick for the 9Z defense. Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Martinez has been a really cool move for 9Z. I didn't really think about it as a possibility, but when they're moving to Spain, it makes sense, right? You got a Spanish-speaking player, you move into Spain. Martinez is a great pickup for the squad. Yeah, he's lovely. He's a strong opper with a lot of potential, and we're all excited to see how he continues to develop. A big chance here at a very important tournament to see what he's got to offer. Oh, he just was like, what's up, man? And the other guy's like, no, we can't talk. It's tech pause. Shut up. Rules are rules. MIBR got that print stream logo. It's shiny. It is very shiny. That's an extra rare foil card. You get into any card games, Jason, at any point in your life? Played Magic the Gathering when I was younger. Okay. How young are we talking? 5th grade? 4th, 5th grade? Ish, okay. Around that area. I don't know what age that is. Me neither. Yeah. Not gonna lie, but young at least. Yeah, I mean, I collected X-Men cards. X-Men cards, okay. Was like Wolverine rare or pretty common? Well, pretty common, but as you know, with card collecting, it depends on the rarity. There's some rare drops in there. Yeah. You can. It's back in the day, you could build like the scenes, right? If you got like the 3 cards, you would put them together next to each other in the sleeve, and it would create like a whole scene. I used to just get into to match attacks, which is football.
Okay.
Or soccer, as you call it, Jason.
I do have a set of rookie Michael Jordan cards locked away somewhere.
Damn, they might be worth something.
They might be worth something.
Have you ever investigated?
No, I have not.
Well, I think you should do that, Jason.
I'm leaving.
You might not have to sit here much longer.
I'm leaving those locked up.
That's the college fund.
We're gonna look at that in like maybe 5-10 years.
Someday you'll get to go to college, Jason.
Right. Someday I'll get that degree. It's been eluding me all this time.
You've been doing video games for far too long.
When it all goes bad, back to school I go.
All right. Well, you're allowed to tech pause if you're speaking Spanish. That's the rules here.
Yeah. Apparently.
Maybe just laughing at their
yeah,
teammate.
Maybe it's giggling is allowed, laughing is allowed.
Yeah, maybe it's just because they're laughing at him for his lack of computer knowledge.
No rain, no flowers.
It's true.
That is very true.
We got some team comms to listen to. We'll take a listen in.
Dois, só dois. Toma HS, guys. Dois bases, toma HS. Toma.
Isso, joga mais
Nada
assim.
spawn de cara.
Fechar vela. Não pode comer janela.
Ajuda a janela.
É.
Vela. Linda isso aí. Linda, caralho. Para.
That is chaotic.
Yeah, there's some energy in those comms. Yeah.
The only word I understood was growl. And that was all I understood.
Yeah.
At the end.
Pretty much.
But it was cool to kind of, you don't even have to understand what they're saying to know it's just chaos, though.
Especially with a fast tactic like that, things get a little bit weird, a little bit spicy.
Imperial Pain currently ongoing. It's 4-2 in that game. Imperial with a small lead over Pain. We've got plenty of action coming up today as well at the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, Stage 1. Big versus Falcons. That's coming up later on the B stream. We got Furia Heroic. That'll be the second game of the day on the stream you're currently watching.
And those are the big stakes games. Those are either you move on or you're eliminated.
Going home for Furia or Heroic would be tough, especially for Furia yesterday, who had that close game at times against Liquid, and I feel like that's gonna be a fun game. Furia versus Heroic.
I think it's a pretty important game for Furia as well when you think about it. I mean, with this kind of roster change, with Fallen taking over, Skulls coming in, a very beatable Heroic who have been off and on with Dexter at various events, who's coming late to this tournament, had a quiet game yesterday. It feels like for a Furia team who gave the interview and said, we're doing everything we can to make playoffs, and all of a sudden you're in this must-win game against Heroic. Good luck.
Yeah, and there's another similar matchup later today. It's the Mongols versus Eternal Fire. Now, the Mongols...
that should be a brawly, exciting game.
Crazy.
That should be absolute fire.
I'm actually really excited for that one. Because I think it's a similar story for both of these teams where they've kind of picked themselves up from mediocrity and pulled themselves into the conversation of maybe taking that next step. And now they've got to take each other on for... a chance to get through.
Eternal Fire, quarterfinals at the Copenhagen Major, and a lot of people thought they could have gone even further there. A lot of people predict them to go a little bit further towards the semifinals. And then Mongols, obviously, we talked about them, the rise that they've had, and wanted to see that continue to happen because everyone wants to have a great team out of the Asian region finally able to challenge for trophies. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for 10 years.
We have been waiting for a very long time, but I have great news. We've got the tech issues sorted. That means we're getting back into the action. I see that freeze time's coming down. No headsets on.
I see freeze time coming down. I don't see headsets on. So
yeah, maybe we're getting a reset.
I'm going to call false start. Move it back 5 yards.
Yeah, okay. That's sad.
Yeah.
It's not so great news anymore.
He's not playing with his jacket half on, half off, is he?
That's pretty sick. Keep half your body warm.
That's a new look.
Only Safe makes that look good, though.
True. He's got some swag. He's got some style.
Can't believe I got baited by a freeze time, Jason.
It's a rookie mistake. I didn't expect it out of you, but we're going to move past it.
I looked at the numbers going down.
I know, you just got so excited. You got pumped.
I got very excited.
Well,
you know what's good for 3D Max?
What's that?
They've got another game later today outside of this tournament with the ESL Challenger League. So they're back in action straight away.
I wonder if ESL's letting them stick around and play from here. Play from the rack room.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, surely,
so.
Right?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Ooh, now it's a tactical timeout.
This is a fun part of the event, obviously. Elimination day, so the stakes rise in all these matches for all these teams and players. Walking around the hotel, you're getting more of the top dogs coming in for stage 2, getting ready, had a little bit of media, sat down, had a podcast today with Neo, with Blade, with Cyclone.
That's a pretty sick podcast.
A good little coaching conversation going on, getting the ins and outs, getting all the tidbits for you guys.
Looking forward to hearing that one.
All right, Dinko, now you're good. Take it away.
Some great news, guys. We're right into the action. That tech issue is resolved.
We can edit that section out in post, you know?
In post, it'll sound perfect. 9Z have taken a timeout because, you know, they're just sitting there in silence for so long. They want to make sure everybody's on the same page. They don't slip up to what possible buy MIBR have here. It's an AK-47 for Insani. The rest are on pistols here for MIBR. First fight is Insani, though. And when you have a hero AK, you want it in his hands. And he's very confident in taking those mid-fights.
Well, now you want to trade it out. So Breno has some armor, so he's going to pass it over to him since he has low HP, obviously. And we'll see if this can work. 9Z, MIBR earlier won a round with Insani getting a pick towards Red Room and then converting into an A hit immediately, going right back to it. This time they'll bait the pistols, but Huaso Peak's got a good angle.
Yeah, Huaso Peak's got a great angle. He could maul them. He could absolutely knock them down here as they start to come in towards this A site. He's just chomping at the bit, waiting to get going. Insani drops first, and then Buddha comes in to help out Huaso Peak. It stops the A play in its tracks, and suddenly it's just exit with a deagle. So second round for 9Z. Out of the timeout. They are looking clean.
Really good shift from 9Z's defense as well. I mean, Buddha comes over to the A bomb site, which allows Huaso Peak to get more aggressive since he has that support. Playing back in the bomb site, those pistols and that AK-47 can swing wide, and you never know what's going to happen there, but you get a player behind that bid box. Easy to stop teams' players jumping through smoke in that fashion. Lead is cut down to just 1, but MIBR with a conservative 5th round are going to be able to buy here moving into the 6th. Up on safe, and AK-47s across the board otherwise.
Instant smokes sent out middle for MIBR, but there's no one going mid. It's very direct towards this B bomb site instead. They're boosting safe up on those boxes. He's looking for Buddha. He's looking for that first victim, but now they're just charging up the ramp. Breno running, checking long, spots out Buddha. Flash comes up, exit assists that kill, but it's the 2 CTs that have held on. They have done very well to slow this MIBR attack down. In fact, they have forced them back. And MIBR have to go for a different avenue of approach, and they don't feel comfortable going into cave, or rather into middle, so they're going to attack through Jag and think about entering this B-bomb site from cave instead.
9Z not in a position where they need to panic quite yet, but maybe a little bit concerned. A huge rotation. All 4 players are behind Cube for a moment, so Huaso Peak's falling back towards middle and Red Room. He's got to make sure nobody's pushing up to flank them. Nobody's already in the A bomb site wrapping around. They don't know. MIBR with this long pause have taken information away from 9Z. And they'll have a softer defense now at the B bomb site. The problem is they don't have any more smokes. They threw their smokes late on that execute, which is what allowed 9Z's defense to hold it so well. And now they've got nothing to cross back in, so they're just going to have to challenge. You have to imagine Op will hold the long angle, AKs will swing and look left, but that
smoke comes in.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, that is rough.
If you're on VR, you're just like, oh, that's actually everything we wanted to do.
Right now, they don't know it, but they could use the smoke to cross out to the right side of the site without being spotted.
I think this has to end up being a save. There's no point.
With 15 seconds in cave, yeah, and they're not showing any sign of going. But now they're going to attempt it. Molotov into short. Max is held back behind it. 9 seconds. Bomb gets out. Big shot from Exit, and now the bomb plant starting to come in. Exit follows up, and Martinez is now moving into action, but that bomb is down, and MIBR have the player advantage for a short moment until the Spanish sniper kicks into gear. Safe and Insani holding on. DGT arrives to help Martinez. They're both retaking from the same position. Insani is receiving damage to the side of that wood, but time will start to tick shortly. 9Z throwing their last pieces of utility. Insani goes for the peak, goes for the challenge, and goes down. And now it is Safe, who has to clutch this one out for MIBR, and DGT will swing him. They do, but yeah. 9Z, well, they hold on.
Yeah, big save in this 2v2 clutch for Martinez and DGT. Well managed in a tough situation. I'm wondering, I mean, I gotta maybe just hold off on those save calls a little bit, but I'm wondering if maybe 9Z kind of got lured into that a little bit of a safe feeling as well. I did not expect a single Molotov to allow them to cross so effectively into the bomb site. Obviously, the instant headshot helps. But damn, that got way too close for comfort. 4 on 3 with 12 seconds on the clock, and MIBR almost steal one away.
Nice to see them go for a round like that and come so close.
Looks like they might just go for it again. All 5 players once again towards the B bomb site. They've thrown the mid utility, but with an aggressive defense like last round, 9Z, no mid is clear.
So both B smokes come in, long and short, covered off. They charge up first, right into Martinez. Max is burning, he goes down, and MIBR have 2 kills back. Huaso peek inside of the smoke, though. He could just unravel this whole thing, or he could get one deked by Safe. And they're calling for that bomb to go middle because of that kill. And they want to get towards Donut. Bomb is crossing. Buddha can't stop it. Exit makes it through. And Safe is going to charge forward towards CT with Insani lurking on the other side of the map.
This is a nasty lurk, but it's out of timings. I don't think he'll expect a player to still be out towards long. He'll look, but this is a long route to walk, and Martinez easy with the P250. Buddha, you're next up. Challenge is going to come from Donut. Double swing. He's got the first, and you know where that Tech 9 is, and it's looking like 9Z once again might handle a sketchy situation.
Well, M4 not able to get it out in time there. Exit, and Martinez closes him out. Yeah, these rounds are sketchy, that's for sure. But it is 9Z winning them regardless. MIBR get another bomb plant, and they had around 2K average left over anyway, so their buy's looking pretty into the next round. But 9Z, for the meantime, are into the lead.
They've got a lot of money as well for the kind of economic damage that MIBR has been able to do these last 2 rounds. 2 players surviving for 9Z in both of them, but you still have Martinez with 10K, you still got DGT with 5,200, Buddha's 4,800. They got cash.
Dude, Martinez is having one hell of a start here. He's 10-2 right now. He's barely dying. He's building that cash up for himself and his squad.
Some big late round plays also in that
big
retake.
Time. And he got the opening kill on that B rush as well.
And he got the opening kills with the saved M4 on round 4?
Yeah, a lot of impact from Martinez. MIBR call for the timeout. They want to talk about this buy ahead of time. So AK-47s, everyone with max utility. And Z go through their last few drops.
I'm so, you know, it's kind of interesting. MIBR, they found success in middle finding those opening kills, and Sonny's got 2 openings in red room and middle towards the cubby. But these last couple rounds, they've gone away with it. They've just kind of faked the utility and had mass bodies towards the B bomb site. That hit obviously hasn't worked.
A little bit more pressure in middle this time from 9Z. 2 players committed down towards elbow. Max doubles up, gets taken out by Exit, who had to reply. He had to get those kills back if MIBR wanted a foothold in this round. And there's a 3 versus 2 in favor of 9Z, but they've pushed so aggressively. Look at this position from Buddha. He's about to catch them walking right into him.
You got to be careful how far you decide to push. Buddha's going to go for it. He's got that frag. That's the bomb dropping as well. Smoke and a plume exit. Steps in front to challenge, but that's a wide plume he didn't expect. Gonna want to just take that fight because he realizes it's the only player. It's the best chance before reinforcements come.
I love that round from 9Z. It felt like, you know, MIBR call a timeout. They obviously were going to have an idea of how they want to play the round, and you just disrupt it. You just push down mid. You push down B. It's so aggressive from 9Z. Well,
and also it's a little bit unfortunate because MIBR kind of went that way I was talking about, where they had more mid presence, obviously 2 players in middle over at elbow, but taking away those resources from B lane, this time you don't have that massive bodies there, and it's the crunch from 9Z on B lane that obliterates that part of the map. So now you got real problems if you're MIBR.
Yeah, now they're down to an AK on exit, everybody else on pistols. You can come close in a lot of these rounds, but if you aren't winning them, this half is going to very quickly spiral out of control in favor of 9Z.
Yeah, they don't even really have any pressure on the economy of 9Z. Not a whole lot of positives to take away at the moment for MIBR. Smoke towards elbow going to come in. Max still keeping an eye on it. Deep nade, and Insani's going to eat that. Down to 50
really
HP.
Half of Insani's gone already. MIBR up, and they don't have resources. The general focus is around this B-bomb site. And no different this time. You got 2 smokes. 3 flashbangs. One of those about to be used up for the Jaguar entrance.
You really want to be able to force back the defense that's over in Jaguar and, you know, ideally take enough control of it to where you can apply pressure into the bomb site, make that defense really, really nervous about ramp and cave.
9Z seem to be very aware of what kind of buy they're going up against, though. Not getting into any precarious positions, using range to be their best friend. Buddha, ooh, ends up getting dinked. That's one hell of a shot. Coming in on Buddha. He's not happy about that. He's lost most of his health in that first engagement. He does very well to reposition and get away with 1 kill, but here comes the attack from MIBR. 18 seconds left. The bomb plant is massive already. They've come close to a couple of these. 9Z's retakes have always won. The knee of Insani gives him away. Hwaso Peak takes out safe, and just like that, it's Breno left in cave alone. The main objective to get the bomb plant is successful. But it's not going to go much further than that. Once again, another cool, collected retake from 9Z on the B-bomb site.
6 in a row for 9Z after losing the initial 3 rounds in this half. They've just powered up as soon as the guns came out. As soon as Martinez gave him that little bit of life in round 4 with the saved M4A1. It's been all 9Z. These B hits, I don't know, it's like you're getting into the bomb site, but even in the post plants, it doesn't feel like either the HP or the positioning is good enough for them to actually win it out at the end of the day. The retakes have been solid from 9Z, very patient. And MIBR still looking for a winning recipe in the gun rounds. The only round they've won against rifles was the Insani lurk out mid for an opening kill in red, and then an immediate A hit off the back of it.
And that was a missed smoke from 9Z too. They allowed that to happen.
And they haven't been able to replicate it. This time Max gets a double. Right down B lane, so costly.
Yeah, it's just so great from 9Z in these opening fights. Like, we're a minute 30 seconds left in the round, and already there's 3 players dead.
It has been a very fast-paced half so far.
Look at this, smoke fade inside of elbow. Surely coming up in just a second. DGT revealed on the other side of it. Insani, fortunately for MIBR, is very quick, very methodical, and then he peeks into elbow and dies to Hwaso Peak. So it's now 9Z with a player advantage.
Yeah, but this is the weak point of the defense here on Max, stuck in this cubby, and he doesn't have time to move anywhere, so he's going to have to call somebody over. He does have a smoke if he wants to drop that out towards ramp. Yeah, everybody is coming. They got the indication now. Smoke being deployed for short by MIBR. The hit is on, and 9Z know it.
If Max gets one, it's looking so good, but Exit just hard clears him, instantly drops Max, and a 2v2 established. MIBR with the bomb going down on B again. They have to feel like they've got to catch a break at some point in some of these B post plants. They've been here so many times, and every single time 9Z have come through with a retake.
There's a smoke on Martinez. If he puts that over in cave, both MIBR players will be locked out. They'd have to rely on the spam.
Well, he puts it exactly where he wants it, inside of cave, and the AWP... Oh, it's right on, but it doesn't connect. The shot does not go through, and Hwaso Peak can take a few steps forward. This is going to be tough, being locked inside a cave while that defuse is happening. They have to rely on the spam, and they have brought both players low. Safe goes down, but remember, both are so low. Just one more bullet, but the defuse is stuck, and another round taken away from MIBR. It is so cruel for the Brazilians right now.
And as much as these tactics aren't leading to round wins, this kind of emphasis to the B bomb site, it's got to be so frustrating because you're MIBR and you're like, we're getting into the site, we're getting these plants, we're having 2-on-2 post plants. We like these situations. Tactics succeeding as designed, just not able to net them a win. Retakes from 9Z today have been spectacular to give them a 4-round lead.
Mid control taken by 9Z, but it wants a challenge this time. Insani with that broken smoke goes for the peak, but no one from 9Z was revealed on the other side of it.
And look at the changeup from MIBR as well. Nobody really at the B lane. Usually it's been 2 to 3 players, but they've gotten obliterated a couple of times. So they say, you know what, Breno, do what you can, but we don't want to lose resources to them getting aggressive because we haven't been able to slow it down. They're going to be patient until utility subsides, and then they can start crawling across the map. Late mid-take likely from Insani and Safe. Not able to find anything just yet, but now this will open up the avenue to challenge towards Donut.
This has been one of the less violent starts to a round. 43 seconds remaining. All 10 players on the server until Safe changes that fact with a kill on DGT.
You have to win this if you're MIBR. You've played this so well. Man advantage. Haven't lost anyone. Plenty of utility. Time is your biggest opponent at this point. Martinez has just shifted away from A, so Hwaso Peak, all important position.
Fighting cave goes 9Z's way. Now Hwaso Peak inside of the donut does well. Brenner goes down. Follow-up chance for Hwaso Peak. Couldn't quite get a second, so instead it's Martinez with 9 seconds left. Looking to delay them, but he falls down. Insani goes to the plant, but there's just enough time, and the kills come in. It doesn't matter anyway. Safe with some 6 shots, and MIBR finally get another round win.
Oh, that's desperate, but it's a beautiful shot onto Martinez, who hung around for a second peak just a little too long. And MIBR pull one out of the hat as time dwindles. Finally back on the board after a 7-round streak. And I like that round. Go back to it. Slower pace. You're not actually running into the obstacle of a barrage of utility in B lane with swings and peaks from the defense.
You're not instantly losing 2 of your players.
Yeah, you're letting them let them make those aggressive plays if they want to just be out of danger. This time they're not, but Breno wins 1, traded off immediately. Drop can't peek. That smoke makes things awkward, and they come right into him. Again 1 for 1, and again control of B lane to 9Z.
This is more like what we've seen throughout the rest of the game. It's just aggression, early fights all across the board. A 3v3 off the back of these early skirmishes. And then Sonny through middle.
That shot's been his bread and butter throughout this whole half.
Follow-up kill. That was wild for Martinez to miss the shot and then just wide swing into the open. And Sonny is going to get that all day long. Hwaso Peak attempting this clutch, and it's a 1v3 that's now suddenly a 1 versus 1. And he can't figure out where Safe is. He's now spotted him. Safe goes in, and Safe will close. 5 rounds picked up right at the end there for MIBR. That was a first half of electric Counter-Strike. More of that after the break.
Octane regional matchup between 9Z and MIBR. 7-5 for 9Z as they switch over into the attacking side. MIBR able to grab a pair of rounds right at the end to make this very respectable, and we've got a battle here on the opening map.
Yeah, it's been a really fun game of Counter-Strike so far, and MIBR got to feel like they could have got a few extra than 5 out of that too. There was a lot of scenarios that came down to retakes and crazy moments right at the end of the rounds, but 7-5, that's not too bad. And now the pistol kicks off with 9Z showing us what they've got on the T side.
9Z in the first half retook and defused the bomb at that B bomb site 4 times. 4 times they were able to get back in there. So, I mean, MIBR was finding that success, just couldn't convert those into rounds win, which had to be so frustrating. But at least they got those last 2 at the end to keep this as close as possible.
Went to slow pistol. A feeling of the calm before the storm.
They want to try and pull that donut player away back towards the A bomb site to open up this avenue of attack, but Insani,
that's one way of dealing with the donut player.
He might have been between 2 mines. He was just starting to move, but he gets deleted either way. Exit trying to just grab 1 to make this retake a little bit easier, but it's not going to be fun either way.
Yeah, it takes a few steps back into the temple to pray. And DGT's on the flank, so there's lots of layers to this.
There's no kit.
Safe is looking at red. DGT is going to come in from CT side of B, so this is going to work out really well for DGT. His timing on Safe to look away. They have to go in for the retake attempt, and not going so well here for the Brazilians. It's all falling apart, and 9Z with a multi-layered pistol paying off perfectly.
Yeah, both teams winning their offensive pistol rounds. Getting a good start on this T side. MIBR is going to elect to buy up in the second, so we're right out of the gate. But well done altogether. Insani out in the open, not able to fall back into cover quick enough. I think that smoke might have thrown him off, that communication, that sense that an A main hit might be coming. He wanted to cheat on that little bit of a step back towards the A bomb site and gets caught. 357s, 2 MP9s.
Now, speedy attack for 9Z into A cancelled.
Yeah, they didn't like that smoke, and I respect this. No reason to try and do something crazy through that smoke in a round like this where you know you have the advantage of economy. Problem is, like, if you try and reconvene all the way around to the B bomb site, you're just going to be walking into the same kind of stack you were worried about walking into through that smoke at A. 3 players from MIBR have control of B lane.
Assuming the miss smoke, there is a problem for 9Z. You just lost one of your pieces of utility. Max and Buddha at the 2 remaining smokes here for 9Z as they gather up outside of B, but the problem is they gotta clear so much here.
They've got 2 Molotovs, so like what's the plan? You're probably gonna Molotov this cubby out to the left, Polly's pocket.
There's no way you just walk in. Oh, they're gonna walk right into the trap. There's another setup on the other side. That MP9 goes in, this time from Breno. And it's worked out for a double. A dink comes in. Now the pistol nearly finishing them off. And 9Z sprinting up into the B-bomb site. Molotov onto Exit, but he forces himself into the open. Max, even while blinded, sinks that kill.
He was trying to make a play coordinated with his teammate's timing. His teammate was calling that he has a flash, that he's throwing it over, and Max was just trying to wait.
Insani now coming out through the speedway. It's a great shot on that 5-7. DGT goes down. And Max now thrust into the clutch. This is a winnable round for Max. A 1v2. If he gets this kill in Cave, then it's right on, but it isn't going to work out for them. MIBR bounce back after a pistol loss. You can see them looking down the line here for 9Z. They're disappointed in losing that one.
I think you got to be a little disappointed and frustrated that you get to that point at the B double doors and you don't actually use enough of your utility to make this easier. 2 Molotovs, neither are used. There's a flashbang on Buddha, that's not used. Nade comes in after the player has already found a kill. You're doing nothing to disrupt any potential setup that would be there. And I kind of understand in a way, because they're moving around the map from the A bomb site where they had made noise all the way to A main and stopped behind that smoke. You kind of want to have that element of surprise, right? You're trying to stay contact, you're trying to remain hidden as much as possible, but that's a very tough choke point to take that gamble on. And obviously doesn't pay off. 9Z is going to buy right back up into it. Mac 10 on Max, Tech 9s and Deagles otherwise.
Lee Martinez was just staring at Max. I would have been very worried. I would have been very scared if I was Max. Right after the end of that round. Martinez has the CT smoke lined up here. Making an attempt to get into A. Remember, this was the idea they had at the start of the last round. It was cancelled by 1 smoke, right? So they want to try and get into the A bomb side again.
But what's the plan? You kind of throw some utility out let Huaso Peak try and be a little bit of a fake in towards A, or does he more lurk things? Does he not try and be the fake, not try and be the one to pull rotations, but just be a lurk off whatever you can create in middle?
You got to realize that MIBR, with how aggressive they were in B lane, that's a possibility to happen again here. So you're going to have to try and fight ledge if you go out middle. And this rifle at this kind of range is heavily favored to Insani. Grenades go down in towards elbow. Martinez fighting back pretty well in that deagle, and Insani's actually on 2 HP, so he can't really stand up there and fight. So DGT smells blood in the water. He starts to go in for this attack. He thinks Insani has gone back into cave, and so he's going to clear out Jaguar. In the meantime, Max has moved through CT, and that MAC-10 catches safe, sprinting back through Temple. It'll upgrade itself into an AK-47, and now with 30 seconds left, 9Z, that bomb is arriving through A main. Exit looking to cover it off, but now he's spotted. Now he's flashed and kept back, and 9Z eventually get that bomb out towards the site. Another fight goes down this time. Max will capitalize on exit, and those early B players are still towards that side.
I was going to say, massive gap in the defense this round in middle. When you put 3 players, 3 members of your team in B lane, you take away the rotator, who's the one to shift back and make sure that nobody can push through middle. So DGT is allowed to get there. I think it was Max who was able to get the MAC-10 kill out towards Temple, the Temple hallway. Like, this is just a missed detail that costs MIBR so much in this round. Back and forth we go. First 3 rounds exchanged between the two teams. 9Z hoping next round they don't stub their toe and they take complete control of this map.
Right now it's blow for blow.
With this kind of a scoreline at this point, it's almost like the big challenge for MIBR. Obviously, you need round wins, but more than anything is like if they lose this early back and forth of economic exchange, if they lose that and give the advantage over to 9Z, this can end very, very fast. If MIBR is able to kind of win this round back and finally get to a point where they have control of the money and they have all the advantages of utility and weaponry, they can close this gap quickly. But you're fighting on a back foot for the rest of the half if you lose this one.
There's a lot of direct hits towards this A-bomb site now. Smoke's coming in. Charge right through. Huaso Peak at the front. Spearhead with the MAC-10. And stir through that donut smoke. It's safe that goes down. 9Z comfortably into the site until that spam comes through Donut. Max just goes down to exit. Now the flight from Insani could have unraveled something here, but he ends up getting detected and taken out quite swiftly. But a lot of these smoke spams through Donut are keeping MIBR in this fight. Drop has slipped through CT as well. He's closer to the bomb site than they might expect. And the bomb hasn't gone down yet.
There's no kit either. So they're loving the fact that the bomb's not gone down. This is actually wonderful for MIB that you stalled this out. Yeah, you still have to go up against an AK-47 and an M4, but they're not going to have the nades to protect themselves. They're going to have to come fight you.
Oh, this is now really rough for 9Z. It was looking so good. They got those initial entries, they got into the site, but now they have to fight a dry 3 versus 3. And these MP9s have suddenly got very close out of Donut. They're doubled up. Martinez has gone down. Huaso Peak now giving away his position, but at least he gets a kill from it. And now we're looking at DGT to find impact for 9Z. There's still time. There's still 40 seconds to try and stay composed here. But they're doing a good job here, MIBR, just hiding behind these boxes, making it uncomfortable. Grenade will go in. It'll soften up Exit, but it won't remove him. It won't take him out, but it will make him very quick to go down to that MAC-10. And Huaso Peak started this round. He looks to try and finish it, and now he has to because Drop has got it down into the 1v1. Huaso Peak is so low in this fight, and Drop just needs a couple of bullets to land. He now goes down low, and Drop comes out on top. MIBR win that ridiculous round right at the end. This game is so back and forth, so much going the other way.
A grueling, long, grinding affair in that 3v3, and MIBR had all the poise in the world to not try and press the issue. Martinez lost track of that smoke timing, wasn't prepared for the battle. Huaso Peak doing his aggressive moves to take control of the bomb site, but Drop wins a 1v2 with the MP9, and they will not quit. That keeps them in the fight. 9Z is going to buy back right into this.
This is exactly what we wanted from a qualification game to stage 2. Fighting tooth and nail against one another.
In a regional matchup as well, they just tend to get scrappy.
Yeah, they do.
Just, for whatever reason.
Get fiery. Z. Able to still buy here. Rifles on 4. A deagle for Max. DGT wanted to see if he could get something going towards the B site, but he got caught by that flash. Again, it's some presence towards A early on. The game plan for MIBR is very B focused. It feels like 9Z has the opposite.
Yeah, you have to assume that's going to be something they saw in preparation for this match. Now, 9Z doesn't have any more nades or utility. They've used everything to get to this point, so everything is just going to be a fight. That's all they have left. It's the only option. We saw in the previous round, without utility, they could never find safety at this bomb site. Safety to get that bomb planted. Safe and Exit have the only 2 pieces of utility left on the map. A flashbang on each of them. 50 seconds left as 9Z readjusts to the middle of the map, crossing over with this lurker in red room.
Max deagle goes down. It is safe on the double. Breno already down this bottom of the B ramp. 9Z not getting close to this one. This is going to be a comfortable victory for MIBR. If they can just hold on to this site, and Breno, he ain't missing with that MP9. He steps up, Seth comes in to close the rest, and that is one of the easiest rounds for MIBR in a long time.
Oh, and this creates the problem now for 9Z. So MIBR have accomplished that first goal. They're the team that wins 2 in a row first. They're the team that takes that economic control out of this back and forth affair that we've had. So 9Z won't be buying in this next round. This is a phenomenal round win for MIBR. But if you're 9Z, it sung their praises about their matchup against 3D Max. They moved around the map so good at the middle stages of the round. They're really struggling with that factor against MIBR. They adjusted in the second round back to the B bomb site, ran into a stack. Most of their tactics have been a call to just hit this A bomb site right out of spawn. It's happening again with just Glocks just to try and get a bomb plant. But if they ever get stalled out, Plan B has not been effective for 9Z today.
Got to change. Couldn't get the bomb plan. Exit was too clean with it. This game's tied up, 9-9. Buys back for 9Z, regardless of a lack of bomb plan. They just wanted some extra cash to maybe get off the Galil on Max, get a few extra pieces of utility. But the battle for 10 rounds begins.
Well, now they have a little bit more nades, and they have, 5 rifles as well. No one's stuck on a pistol or a MAC-10, so they can open the playbook up a little bit more, and let's see what they decide to do. Let's see if they decide to kind of slow things down, spread it out, play a little bit more of a default.
I'm intrigued to see what this AWP is going to do for Safe, as it's towards A main already. And they have gone very heavily towards A multiple times here in 9Z, and they're going there again. The AWP is positioned perfectly, rifle setup with it, and Exit just mauls Martinez and Buddha. That's the round pretty much done in an instant. 9Z down to 2 players, and they're about to walk into the red room, and Sani's ready for that. And another clean round for MIBR.
Oh, this is a disaster, especially if they keep all 5 alive, which they will. Good find from Breno. 10-9. MIBR ignite on a 4-round streak.
You talked about maybe spreading out a little bit more, but 9Z again, majority of their players walking into A. Safe had a perfect read of that. Like, he positions his AWP here, ready for an aggressive peek.
With the number of rounds you've ran, like heavy bodies on the T side for 9Z towards that A bomb site and just run into a set piece, it's only a matter of time before MIBR is like, okay, like
we're just gonna put the AWP there.
Bring a second player. We're gonna set up for this. We're gonna put a setup in there to stop you. So massive issues right now for the offensive half of 9Z.
They gotta change it up.
Considering how dominant they were in that stretch in the first half, it's kind of crazy to see them. I mean, maybe even they probably feel it too inside the server, looking at the score like, how did this happen? How did this happen so quickly? MIBR.
Dude, they're not getting kills.
Yeah, there's only been 2 kills in the last 3 rounds for 9Z. One of them was a full Glock round, let's be fair, but regardless,
it was better than the last round.
Money ain't no issues for MIBR.
At least that loss bonus is now at maximum for 9Z after this, so they can take a half buy here, have a really good buy in the next, but this is going to concede 11 rounds to MIBR. Unless Exit gets caught in middle. And there is a chance that could happen here. He has been dinked. He has been put under a lot of pressure. He doesn't get a second kill out of it. So 9Z up a player somehow off the back of those early fights.
It puts Safe under a lot of pressure because now Donut is a possibility for 9Z to attack into. Same with A main. Missed shot. Safe's got to be a little bit cautious. Backs up in towards Temple. Bomb still not recovered yet for 9Z. In fact, all 3 players are so far away from each other. No chance of teamwork. Max with 2 HP, or 3 HP, can't be the aggressor. He's just going to wait for someone to wander into his crosshair, and he better be perfect.
He has to hit the headshot, otherwise he's down. And Drop just slowly crawls into the angle. It's pulled back here by MIBR. Really well done to just stay composed after losing a couple of those early members. And it's 11 rounds as anticipated for MIBR.
All right, do we go to the A bomb site again?
We can. We just can't do that.
That's the question.
It can't happen again. It's not like when Snacks was calling go A over and over again.
I was just thinking the same exact thing. He called it, what, 3 or 4 times in a row?
Rounds.
But they were winning them, yeah. Well, and they'd also established a ton of success in middle to set that up just perfectly.
Yeah.
9Z haven't established success anywhere on the map just yet.
Okay, it's different this time. It's heavy B, with one player cutting off rotations at elbow, just lurking over that. This is the fight going down. DGT and Buddha, they got those opening entries, and look what happens when you don't go A. It's 4 kills in an instant for 9Z.
That's the entire nade sequence that Breno has thrown, you know, the past couple rounds, that Buddha's been the one against it. So he very much had that downloaded of what the Molotov was going to be, where it was going to land, where it was going to spread, what the next flashbang is. And he's just ready to pounce on the follow-up aggression. So 9Z bite back. They get to double digits and bring this within 1. But then you just go back to the luxury of MIBR and all the money that they have.
Yeah, they got a lot of it.
They've got 2 full buys beneath them. 9Z is going to have to come back into this the hard way to steal this map out of the hands of MIBR. Great games as well from players on both sides. And Sani with 17, Safe with 19, Exit with 16. For 9Z, it's Huaso Peak at 18, Martinez and Max both at 16. So you got some pretty important pieces for both squads putting up numbers.
That's why we've got the close scoreline that we're currently seeing. 9Z with a chance to tie up the game again, or MIBR to head to map point. It's MIBR's map pick of Ancient. Be a devastating blow to concede this. Martinez on the hunt for an opening fight. He's got it on Breno. Now he's committed in the corner, but he's not alone. He's got his teammate Buddha to back him up, and Martinez sinks that kill. It's Exit coming out of middle. Now realizes he has to leave the comfort of his cubby and head in towards Donut instead. It is a 4 versus 3, an advantage with 9Z and plenty of time for that bomb to go down and comfortably get into post plants here.
You don't even need to get into post plants. They don't know yet. It's going to be a save. MIBR, no one's even close to taking that step forward. And I mean, that's back-to-back rounds. Back-to-back rounds where it can't be that easy for 9Z. Just like they couldn't do anything at A to start this half. We haven't even really seen him test middle with anything more than maybe 1 lurk. But back-to-back rounds where it's just you're just hustling up to challenge, hustling up to fight as soon as possible. Martinez gets a pick. Buddha's there ready to fight as well.
And I don't even know if this is going to go too well for Save. He's got the AWP. Buddha's charging him down. He realizes he hears the steps. He'll hang on to his sniper. Game's tied up. 11-11. That timeout worked out very well for 9Z.
Plenty of money, though, for MIBR, especially with 2 saved weapons. Shouldn't really have any financial issues for the rest of this half. Tactical issues, however. You're saying, all right, guys, do everything you possibly can to stop them from killing you at the B-bomb site in the first 15 seconds.
DGT charging up, gets spammed down through that smoke. And Sonny was blind, he couldn't capitalize on the smoke broken open. And 9Z charge out mid to their deaths. These rounds are finishing within seconds.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, again, it took MIBR a long time in the first half to kind of adapt to it as well, right? They were being very aggressive, very fast-paced, and they were getting eliminated by the battles being taken during the barrage of utility to open up rounds. They eventually learned, like, okay, pump the brakes, slow it down, let them use those nades, let them be in those aggressive positions for a minute, and then we'll kind of take the mid-round in control when we have all the nades and everything we can do for map control. The only thing that's really worked for 9Z's T-side on these gun rounds has been those challenges early at the B ramp. But if you're MIBR and you're feeling like you're going to be up... Oh, that's an awkward miss. Let's not call it just yet. Crazier things have happened. And another miss from Safe.
Finally, Safe goes down. Still so many targets to still find, and Drop is snuck up the B ramp at a perfect time here. Gonna deny that bomb plant. Now Buddha has to turn and reveals himself to Insani, who will grab that 12th round for MIBR. They have fought so hard to get here. 1 round win, and they have taken their map pick. But 9Z are not out of cash. They've got another good buy, and we know how back and forth this game has been. Overtime is a real possibility here. And the bonus rounds are currently being set up.
This is one of those rounds you get to this stage of the game and it's like, are you going to have the guts to call everyone towards A? Are you going to have the guts to call a tactic where you come bursting out of a smoke in middle? Are you going to have the guts to go back to what worked, which is challenge up B ramp?
Once again, DGT is challenging up over the ledge. He actually takes less damage than I was anticipating, looking at how much CT utility was coming in towards him, but he was so fast, he got by it. Drop is down through the wood. That is a fantastic way to grab an opener. Your teammate, your opponent can't even really fire back.
Yeah, thankfully for MIBR, no rotations need to happen until, man, Breno getting dinked. That might call him to force him to call somebody over.
This is a tough start for MIBR. This is really starting to set up overtime, just based on that opening and the damage done on the second player.
Especially because with the opening, it's like 9Z struggled with playing a slower paced round or just hasn't done it. And now when you get a pick that early in the round, it's like an automatic slowdown. You almost feel like there's going to be a reaction of some kind. MIBR putting a lot of faith in Safe for this last round. He's got the op over in Cave and Jaguar.
He'll snipe away, DGT. Now the attack coming out through B ramp, the grenade thrown in. And Sonny and Exit start to activate in middle. There's still Huaso peek over towards A main, remember. And Safe is getting blinded over and over again. Missed shot. Now he's committed. He can't get out of there. Has to try and get a kill, and he won't. Buddha takes him out, but traded by Breno through the smoke.
Look at the flank. It's everything on that. There's a flank coming in from Huaso Peak, but it's very long. It's very far away. There's a flank coming in from MIBR on the CT side. 2 players through Cave, and they will beat Huaso Peak to this point.
Yeah, but Max, he's aware of that Cave possibility. He's also only got half of his health, so Insani takes him down. Now Huaso Peak's flank activates on Breno. 2v2. It's Huaso Peak out towards CT, and Martinez on the ramp. The defuse is tapped, not stuck. Martinez goes aggressive. Molly on the bomb. It's perfect. The fire is burning away. This regulation, and it looks like it's going to go in favor of 9Z. Insani gets swung, and Huaso Peak's flank brings us into overtime.
He got there just at the perfect moment. What a heroic effort from Huaso Peak. Beautifully done. And 9Z, despite all the struggles, find a way to tie this up.
He doesn't rush it. He doesn't make too many mistakes there on the flank. He times it to perfection. And when he's left alone, he stays composed to close it. That utility placed absolutely perfectly onto the bomb, prevents that defuse from happening. And we go into OT, and it's a straight up opener for Martinez, who goes again. And Drop is there to punish him.
Yep, but this is the tried and true. Just challenge up B ramp, especially that you've got this pick. They spot Drop. That's Huaso Peak with the bomb, who's got to be a little bit cautious on his cross, but he's going to be more than pleased that his teammates have taken control of the bomb site entirely.
3v3 exits low. Bomb plant now going down inside of B. Drop cleared out by Buddha. They knew he was in there. They spotted him so early in the rounds. They knew that was a threat they had to deal with. So they always had eyes on it. Buddha's going to deal with Safe. Safe walks through the smoke. Okay. Should have dealt with Safe. Safe shot lands. And now this is back on for MIBR because of that. Exit's so low, though. They really shouldn't go Exit's way. He's going to go down to Huaso Peak. Now it's Safe, and they know where he is. They've just spotted him. He's getting utility just thrown at him. Smoke is up. Extra insult to injury, and DGT closes it to put 9Z ahead.
Well done from 9Z. Opening pick provided by Martinez, and then again, nice and simple up B ramp. That's been a consistent solution to them on a map where they haven't had many.
Viva!
9Z with a commitment towards B. Every single player heading towards that side of the map. And with some speed. Max gets dinked. In fact, he gets spammed down to 9 health. Drop's looking for some revenge.
Well, they can't do anything except go here. So flashes, they're coming right through the smoke. First kill for Drop. Oh, second player blinded. This is a disaster, especially with that kill.
Yeah, that's ugly. That's real ugly. And now they're committed to this. They've lost every other part of the map. There's a flank coming through. Yeah, Spawn.
But they call the flank off as well. Like the two players coming down mid, Exit and Insani are like, no, we don't need to go for this flank.
Because Safe's in T-spawn, so he's just walking in behind them. Martinez is stuck at the doors. It's just a matter of time before this round ends in favor of MIBR. Game's tied up again.
Yeah, real clean. And I mean, you might as well just do that if you're MIBR on defense as well. Dump whatever you need at the B ramp to stall that out, to make sure they don't have that opening to challenge.
Yeah, just with the way 9Z are playing, Jason, it feels like it's got a lot of risk involved in it. It's either you get that sick opener, you won the round, or you instantly just lose.
Yeah, it's been unique in that sense, hasn't it? It's been like some head scratching. That's why I kind of mentioned that these regional matchups sometimes get a little bit scrappy.
Surely the more you get into overtime, the more exacerbated that is going to be.
I'll be honest though, like this isn't the style that we saw out of 9Z against 3D Max, and we didn't see him play Ancient. That was the third map that we didn't get to. But on Anubis and Nuke, it wasn't along these lines. It was a little bit more slow paced. It was a little bit more calculated. Maybe Ancient, not a strong map for them at the moment. They're coming in late towards middle. So much pressure applied to show an A rush, and that pulls everyone on the defense out of position.
Yeah, Safe going for that peek and elbow, missed shot. He was very committed for the AWPers. There was no falling away or getting behind cover. And Sani looking to make up for here for MIBR, but they're down 2 players, and Sani desperately needed that headshot. He'll claim it, and he'll stay alive.
Yeah, but MIBR don't know what's happening. Remember, all they've seen on this map so far is utility that signifies an A rush with footsteps, and then presence in middle. They haven't seen anything towards the B bomb site, which is still very much an opportunity and opening for 9Z.
MIBR split up into a 1-1 setup. Drop on B, exit to try and defend the A bomb site. And this gives the entire map for 9Z to work with. And they've got 40 seconds. And they're going to walk into this B bomb site. They'll have DGT. He could even lurk into the end of this round. He could stop exit from getting over to help out his teammate.
I really like this position from Drop, though. This is the other problem. Yeah, the lurk is fine in middle. But you'd love to have another player to help secure this bomb site. Everything rides on it.
If they desire, they could throw a Molotov into that position. But they're just going a little sneaky into the site, and they might just clear it casually. In fact, they're not going to clear it at all. 7 seconds. Drop could deny it, but that bomb plant is going to go down. He can't stop it from happening. And Drop looks to just try and stay alive inside of Cave. He's waiting for his teammate to come over, but DGT, he's thinking about that. He's ready for exit, and that flank now starts to come into fruition. It is all on Drop to close this out. He's got some utility to try and help him, and that missed shot from Martinez might have just been the golden ticket here for young Drop. It doesn't seem like he's going to win the round now off the back of this reposition from DGT, and 9Z once again head into the lead.
And now that's got to be scary for MIBR, because 9Z's CT side in regulation, they had that lockdown stretch of 7 rounds in a row. Wonderful at retaking, and you have a similar kind of problem for MIBR that we saw from 9Z, which is felt like their T side was pretty one-dimensional, getting in, getting into the B bomb site, but all the retakes that were coming out.
Let's see what the T-side looks like now.
16's the magic number.
That's what we're looking for. Currently 9Z closer. Drop, sprinting, up the B ramp, straight into the attack, and he doesn't get a single kill out of it. It does not work out for MIBR, and oh, the spam down through the wood. It gets worse for MIBR. It just keeps getting worse. 9Z collapsing upon them, and MIBR collapsing on their own map pick. It's going to be map point for 9Z, and they pick it up in emphatic fashion. And Sani, the last player alive, and there is nothing, despite his skill, that he can do.
Still unable to contain the B aggression from 9Z's defense. It plagued them all in the first half as well. Whenever 9Z wanted to get aggressive, they won those fights. This time it gives them 2 chances to close out this opening map to steal the pick away. Second map in this series will be Nuke, the pick of 9Z.
And eventually, Insani is even found on that hunt. MIBR have to find back-to-back solutions just to force another overtime. They'll use their timeout. Their overtime timeout.
Got to put together a plan for 2 rounds of how they want to approach this.
It's been a real struggle to find one.
I'd love to see them go back to that slower style that we saw maybe 2 rounds in regulation. Maybe it was only 1 towards the end.
It seemed to work really well.
Very nice. And again, I keep going back in my head to the fact that Insani was able to find a ton of success in middle, getting picks towards Red Room, finding picks over in Closet. He did a great job for MIBR when the opportunities were there, when they played slow and gave him the time to make that kind of a play.
Yeah, but Insani's just left alive alone for a minute. Just trying to dodge being hunted. Martinez. He's already on ledge. This is some speedy work with the AWP.
Took a lot of damage to get it, though, down to 39 through that Molotov.
Yeah. Dangerous excursion.
So it looks like Safe and Exit going to throw out utility meant to apply pressure to the A bomb site, perhaps get some kind of a shift from this defense. Obviously, we can see on the minimap, Breno, Insani, and Drop lined up at the B double doors for the moment. Max is being pulled away. Martinez with the AWP is stepping forward, and he's got the first.
And now he sees the pack of the attack heading in towards the B-bomb side. The A-fake is not going to work out. It is not going to work for MIBR here on their map pick. They decided to bring the battle to Ancient, and 9Z will walk away with victory in overtime. And the last few moments of overtime have been very convincingly in favor of 9Z.
Yeah, I think a lot of this map, I think if the takeaway for me on this map is both teams with some glaring weaknesses in their T sides. At least in this individual match, not able to get much going, very one-dimensional.
I think that bodes worse for MIBR, who has decided to pick this map, right? The T side isn't working out on their own map pick. And it might be a rough time over on Nuke. The 9Z are excited to get there.
This is being watched and footsteps made due to the fact of time, so Exits truly got just about 0% chance of winning this, and indeed he'll go down. That's map 1, taken in overtime by 9Z. 16-13, stealing away MIBR's map pick, and they're 1 map closer to stage 2 at Cologne.
Time, and now you've got to try and do the hard work on Nuke.
Hey, look, I think this match, the first map delivered for me. Like, it was fun. It wasn't great Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect Counter-Strike.
It was engaging.
It was exciting. They were aggressive. They were getting into the brawls. They weren't giving up. There was a nice little comeback, overtime game as well, back and forth to start the second half. I want more of that. Let's see what we've got. MIBR is going to start on the CT side. They got 4 sets of dualies.
A lot of guns.
They have 9 pistols on the server right now.
Yeah, that's not fair. See if they're able to make them work on that CT side. You usually don't see this many Julies. Oh, it's Sponge here today with you, Jason. That's good to know.
Oh, what's up?
I was going to try and do it.
Yeah.
That's what I can't do. Max, he's got Insani outside, and that's a good start here for 9Z.
It's only the dualies left.
Hugo and Rush on the observers as well. What is happening?
It's all over the place. Explains a lot.
Yeah.
There goes one of the dualies. There goes another set of the dualies.
Unsafe. Nope, there's another. So it's just Exit now, left alone. And it hasn't really gone so well for MIBR to kick off this first round until Exit spins into action.
Is it weird that this feels doable? Okay.
If he got that.
Yeah, exactly. I might have just set the headphones down and left.
And he now sees Max. He's done a little bit of damage towards him, but yeah, the bomb has made it down, and that is planted on the lower side. Max is just keeping Exit occupied on the A side. And Exit realizes, yeah, what am I doing fighting this guy? Nope, he just wants this kill.
He looks great on those dualies.
He really does.
I'm gonna tell you.
Imagine if he was able to get into the early round. Don't give him a chance. Don't give him
a
way
chance.
back in, and he did get a couple of opportunities that, and Exit goes down. 9Z win the pistol round.
Yeah, just complete deletion. Even though it comes down to a 1v2, that was a 5-on-1 at one point. So some good shooting from Max, but it's too little, too late. 9Z get the pistol on the board. So much space outside for them to work with. That is a gap. A missed detail from someone on MIBR. I assume Insani outside just never saw with the pace of that coming, didn't have the timing of the move. Exit drops an M4 over to Insani, so a hero rifle for MIBR's defense, but it might not get a chance to pounce, and actually, maybe it will. They do actually come down. There is a bit of a crossfire set up, and the 5-7's chewing him up.
Insani left alone, 1 versus 3.
Awkward.
And pretty awkward indeed. The bomb hanging out in spawn. At least got a lot of time to go back and get it. Insani, if he wins this fight versus Buddha, then maybe we'll start talking about a chance. But Buddha makes sure that he gets a little upgrade right there.
You're right, though. With the way they were spread across the map, he wins that battle. The next up is a 2 HP player. That can get mopped up easily, and then all of a sudden it's an awkward one-on-one across the map. If it doesn't come to be, it might be our second round investment. Nets them nothing.
That's some great tape work right there.
What kind of tape do you call it? Gaffer tape or something?
Duct tape is what I just generally call all tapes.
Yeah. Plus two.
There's sellotape, duct tape, and scotch tape.
Okay.
Scotch tape has like a mat over the top.
Yeah, you're just like us.
Yeah.
I think someone out there has a weird name for that tape, for duct tape, though.
Maybe it's Australians? Gaffer tape?
Could be.
I think it's probably workman, you know? I don't do enough of that stuff to really know.
Okay, he just tracked Max with the USP at range.
Yeah, Exit's looking pretty sharp. He's had a lot of pistol kills so far. Martinez clearing up the ramp play into the vending machines. It's Breno with one back on that P250, but he is stopped by Huaso Peak. Exit now alone. 9Z start 3-0. Now, something we mentioned over on the first map, Jason, you were saying is both teams struggle on the T side. They didn't have great T sides on Ancient, but you'd imagine 9Z are going to have a far better T side on Nuke.
Absolutely. I mean, this map we did see in their previous series against 3D Max. I'm reasonably confident about. I'm just double checking that so I don't spread any poor information out there into the world.
You don't want to spread misinformation. No one does that on the internet anymore, Jason.
It was a 13-4 win for 9Z over 3D Max, and they put up 9 rounds on their T side. And this is where it felt like they were a lot more in control in terms of slowing down after some of their opening plays. I think Ancient for them, for both teams, looked very one-dimensional on the T side.
Yeah, Max fragged out on that series. He had like a 1.92 rating across the whole series, so he was really, really solid. Sani disrupts the outside smokes. Has a look for Max. Bullets whizzing over the top of his head from Silo, and the grenade comes in. A follow-up to break it apart, and that's a fantastic start to the round for MIBR. 2 openings.
Yeah, well doubled up, breaking the utility. Absolutely perfect. Huaso Peak's going to come pick up the bomb, but he wants nothing to do with outside any longer. So 9Z, we just talked about how good their T-side was earlier in the event. They're going to have to pull a magic round in a 3v5. There's 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining, so they've got time to investigate, to work the map a little bit, see if they can find a kill or two, thin things out, and create an opening for themselves. It's Insani they'd have to contend with, although a very narrow angle. Exit as well can turn in mini on contact.
Seconds.
Yeah, but layers of this defense due to the two-man advantage. Insani spots him cross, doesn't dedicate himself to the fight. Safe and drop, rotate to the lower bomb site to make sure it's not going to be easy for 9Z to get in.
Just making sure no one's already in. Just making sure they go through all the motions, all the safety procedures, and now with 10 seconds left, a final effort towards this bomb site is thrown in, but 9Z will not be getting anywhere near the bomb site in time. And so they will try to save their weapons.
Do they hunt this aggressively after? Okay, the smoke up in the doors kind of prevents them from doing any kind of hunting, but they would have loved to take some of those guns away after the time. It's not going to work. Good round from MIBR. Demolishing that outside play. And Sonny and Save combining for 2 kills of the 9Z players trying to cross over to Secret. And they're on the board early.
Exit. Oh, fire tickling at his feet all over the show, really. He's nowhere safe for him to stand. The floor is lava. And across to 9Z, they've got 1 player towards Secret and down already. That's Max. And Sani's going to try and sever off his teammates by throwing that Molotov in. They're going to boost over red. Sani has seen it. He has seen that head just bob up over the red box, and they realize that as a possibility. So they cross behind those smokes just in time. And 9Z have 2 extra players at Secret. Now Drops turn to address it, and he loses the fight to the MAC-10. It now becomes an M4A1S. Safe is rotating down lower through ramp. That window in control is already broken. He can silently slink in behind them. And he's got 3 players around that corner. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to see them. That's the first down. Second chance is there, but he's unable to capitalize on the second chance at all. So now 9Z are 1 player up on the count, and with 50 seconds left, that bomb is going down.
This is one thing we saw from 9Z plenty against 3D Max, was this exploitation of the lower bomb site with about 3 core players that would attack constantly, and 2 lurkers, 1 outside, 1 in lobby towards Squeak Vent. And they devastated 3D Max a number of times with that tactic. A lot of it started out with the drop-down vent from the 3 players instead of crossing Secret outside. But this is just a tiny variation.
Oh, timing.
Yeah. Bad timing for Buddha. Still alive, and I think they're both going to be content to call a stalemate, to be honest with you. Buddha actually wants the gun, and he's got it. Whoa,
well.
baby. Sliding out with low HP and getting an instant headshot, and now running away from the bomb blast.
Yeah, get out of that, Buddha. So that bomb's massive, so couldn't get away from it. Blows up in the air, and so does Buddha. It is now 4-1, 9Z, starting off their T side very comfortably.
Yeah, by virtue of such a clean first round for MIBR, they can afford to buy again. After this, money's a problem, depending on what they can save. Very narrow to having a good stop. Drop coming down vents, a risky rotation when they've already crossed Secret. He had to win that first fight, wasn't there. But that flank around to the control side doors might have ended 9Z's efforts as well. A good trade, an important trade.
Fire goes down to keep him at bay out of hut. The drop, the descent, it's Breno at the back of the bomb site, lining up too. Max and Huaso Peak go down. PGT trying to keep 9Z in this early fight, but that kill coming back, and Buddha could do the same. He's actually found a way out of hut. This could be perfect because Breno has no idea. He's about to wrap around the back of Breno in the sight. The timing to look back was almost perfect, but Buddha reads the vent setup, and then Sani goes down behind that. The thin sheet of metal will not protect him, and Martinez puts the bomb down in the site. This has got to be so frustrating for MIBR as they once again take that familiar walk back to save at CT spawn.
And what a beautiful play from Buddha. It seems so risky, but it's not nearly as risky as it might kind of look at surface level, because he had the communications, right? You knew one was in the bomb site that killed 2 of your teammates. They were fighting and they heard someone drop out towards Squeak Vent. So you kind of had a location of 2 defenders, and the big risk was just whether a 3rd player was going to be up in heaven. That was the one thing that Buddha just had to take the risk of and say, there's not going to be a 3rd player rotating over. I should be fine to make this play, and boy, does it work. Drop and save, fall back for the M4s in the next round. Breno has plenty of money to have an M4 of his own, so I imagine we get a timeout out of MIBR, not only to talk about how they want to adjust this defense to get it rolling, but also what they want to do with any kind of a buy in this round. Breno might even be able to drop a second M4 over to a teammate. You were wondering about 9Z's T-side looking better on Nuke, and boy, it is.
It's definitely looking better. It looks in full control. I mean, at this point of Ancient, we were going in this sort of back and forth, crazy post-plant retake scenarios for 9Z. But this is This is so comfortable. First time I used from IBR. Drop's not had the best of days. Sitting on that old goose egg. Insani's only got 1 kill, and obviously you've got a player of Insani's caliber. You want him to start delivering in the maps that matter most.
Still early days, but I think one of the hard parts of you know, when you look at a drop and an Insani with 0 and 1 kills is, you know, such a dominant start to this half outside of maybe 1 round. 9Z have just been able to have their way with them. Not even really able to kind of rotate in and help out in any significant fashion because it's been so emphatic.
MIBR deploying deep outside utility to try and force them back, keep them there for a little while longer because Insani's coming through secret. He wants to start the round at secret, so you don't want them already at red.
Oh,
perfect. That's exactly what you want from your secret player. A little look up, spot out Huaso peek on top of Silo. MIBR giving a clean advantage.
Yeah, but that kind of a kill should put notice over to the ramp player.
And it's those 2 plays that we talked about. It's Drop and Insani that step up, and Drop gets a double, nearly 3. Buddha just survives by the skin of his teeth. And now it's Max spotting out the arm of Insani, starting to pull this one back for 9Z again.
This is awkward now, though, because they can't drop vents. They can't rotate vents. They have to go for the long rotate through secret or through ramp one, which is going to give plenty of time for that bomb to go down, plenty of time for Buddha to make a decision of where he wants to play after the fact.
Yeah, this could be well, he's nowhere he can go.
He picks the wrong spot.
Yeah, he picked the wrong spot indeed.
He had 10 options. He picked the wrong one.
The grenade lands in his back pocket, and now Max with a 1v3. Now, he talked about his ability on the opening day of Cologne and how insanely good he was. This would be a next step up. Defuse just stuck. Is he going to stop it? He will. First diffuser, take it off. You know where Max is now at the control room window, and Exit just walks up behind him. It's the second round for MIBR. And it's positive signs, man. It's Insani and Drop getting the job done here.
Yeah, showing a little bit of life, those two, with good defensive stands in both their positions. 3-round lead for 9Z. Money's not going to be great for MIBR, although very, very nice keeping 2 weapons up, dropping some guns over to teammates. 9Z as well starting to struggle with their own economy, then ground down a little bit. This is potentially the last full buy that they'll have. So a little bit of breathing room for MIBR in sight if they can make it, if they can convert 2 in a row. They've got the AWP out on Safe, it's out on Martinez as well.
DGT doesn't care about the utility. It's just a small obstacle in his way. The bigger obstacle is the exit. And the headshot will remove DGT. Unfortunately for MIBR, they have lost 2 of their members in the blink of an eye. So we're now at a 4v3 with 9Z ahead. And they've got so much time to play with. And this is going to put so much pressure on Exit at the back of the site. He's going to be the anchor that sinks the ship of 9Z's attack. He's just holding as much as he can. But Buddha and Max are just unstoppable, unrelentless. And it's Safe left in a 1v3.
These MIBR players are really being put in a tough spot. Hold the phone. That's a nice pick from Safe early on in the post plant. But Max shuts him down quick. I think MIBR players are really being put in a hard spot on some of these set pieces just by the pacing of it, just because this is very peaky. You know, 9Z is able to grab essentially 2 picks before they really apply pressure to take control of that bomb site. And then you get into a situation where, once again, poor Breno is just like in the bomb site, fighting towards Mini. He spotted one there. No, excuse me, Breno was the one who got picked off. The player in the bomb site is looking towards Mini, sees Max kind of jiggling it. He knows they're coming out hot. He hears footsteps front Silo. He's got way too much to do for just one player.
Jump into Max is free. I mean, we're not expecting too much out of MIBR here. It's sad to see Breno's Zeus position get removed by the Molotov. And Buddha, effective clearance of Drop. Let's try to walk down ramp. Exit spotted hell, and well, Exit is giving them hell. 2 nice kills on that M4A1.
This gets a little bit dicey now, just by the way that 9Z kind of organizes their T-sides, right? That 3-man group and 2 lurkers, and now all of a sudden things are spread out.
There's also a gun available on ramp if Breno could get to that, but it's also Safe pushing outside.
Yeah, and actually just past DGT. There's no reason for 9Z to think this is possible because DGT was just outside at top secret. If this takes too long for them to get to ramp room, ooh, Save can end this.
MIBR might have pieced together something beautiful here for them. They are taking their time walking down ramp. That AK was not recovered, the one I thought was going to be picked up, but Bruno has got one regardless, and Safe has decided not to follow through ramp. He's gone into the A site. 9Z with 30 seconds are now arriving at B. There's no one on this lower side of the map until Safe makes the vent walk down straight into DGT. And some of these pieces that you thought were perfectly placed are starting to unravel. Exit's still up though.
He's found a gap. He's found a seam, and actually Martinez is exposed. Hard to handle this kind of a battle with the AWP. Gets into the safety of the silo, and that's a nice peek, but a better response through the smoke, and that one's easy. 5-round lead now, 9Z not slowing down.
Buys back from MIBR, AWP out for Safe, M4s for everybody else. And yeah, those are the kind of rounds that you didn't expect anything to happen for them, and the Exit gets 2 kills here, and just by virtue of how players find themselves positioned, there is a window that we can see for MIBR to win the round. It just wasn't to be for them in the end. Their focuses will be on this, and they got to start winning rounds here. This half can very easily fall completely out of the comeback territory.
MIBR's had 5 first kills in this half.
That's ridiculous.
And only able to convert 2 of them. Now, a lot of them have been, I mean, there's been some early aggression trades that come in quickly, right?
Yeah. That's unfortunate. There's another opening kill. This one's off the back of Safe's op. Can they work with this, MIBR?
Conversely, on the other side, Max has been 9Z's best creator. 4 opening kills, the only player with opening kills on the 9Z side, and he's now out of the fight. Someone else is going to have to step up to create opportunities for the rest of 9Z.
Hwasopeak is silently crawling his way upper, but Buddha's been spotted. Safe has him locked in. Second kill from the sniper. But Hwasopeak, remember, he's just above them.
He could choose to ignore this.
He's going to drop. He's going to drop and start pre-firing. Finds Safe. He went the wrong way, but is able to adjust. He's not expecting drop, but he comes back to the kill anyway. Drop whiffs. Drop does not get it done. Now the push into door is stopped by DGT. Insani had to trade it and does so. He's now in a heaven fight. He knows Hwasopeak's up there, but Hwasopeak has had one hell of a round. 30 seconds remaining, and Exit is being watched in the vent.
Yeah, they know. They know. I think Martinez heard him in secret earlier because they're razor focused on vents. Molotov as well as eyes from heaven. Hwasopeak gonna just shut it down, and a huge recovery.
12-3 for Hwasopeak. What a half he is having. It's 8 rounds for 9Z, and that is a double opening from Safe. He gets the first pick. He finds the second onto Buddha, and Hwasopeak takes the risk to dive down and just frag out. He gets both. Drop had to trade that, man. He had to get that trade.
Yeah, I mean, that's the missed kill, and there's too much of that going on as well. He never even knew Drop was actually in lockers. He's caught off guard by that fight and still wins it out. And another opening kill for MIBR goes to waste. And this time it's even a 5-on-3 after the op kill underneath heaven.
Second time out here for MIBR. Just looking at their faces, you don't need to be a body language expert. They look deflated. And you can understand why. They came so close to winning their map pick of Ancient, and now they're getting outmatched completely on Nuke.
Don't be dismayed, MIBR fans. This is not an elimination game. Winner moves on to the next stage. Loser plays later today for a spot in stage 2. That would be against the winner of Imperial versus Pain.
It's currently looking like it's going to be Brazil can't lose today, basically. There's going to be a winner somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can lose. You just also win at the same time.
Yeah, true.
It's a weird reality.
Pistols and an MP9. That's what MIBR come to play with. And that does point us in the direction of a 9-2 scoreline. But if we look at the side of 9Z, I'm just very happy to see them playing this well.
Yeah.
It's been great to see them come into Dallas. No one really was expecting anything. It's like, okay, 9Z, probably one of the worst teams of the tournament on paper at the start of the tournament.
Yeah.
They make it into the playoffs.
It's a team we don't see a whole lot out of, and when you start seeing, you know, 2 tournaments being put together, they're looking good. Max, easy kill on drop, who's got knife out, never expected it. 9Z has infested the entirety of this map. All over the place, coming down secret. And Sani's gonna have a chance, but not ready for those bodies. Max knows everything.
Exit with 5-7. Okay, Exit. Triple kill out of the 5-7, and now he's got an AK-47. He's got a chance. 30 seconds left in this round, and he separates them into 1v1 fights here. Max is just going to take the duel. Exit
no
gets
way.
the headshot, and this could be one of the most ridiculous clutches that we will see from 5-7 to AK-47. To all 5 kills for Exit right in front of him. DGT sprints through those double doors, punches in those digits, and Exit now looking to make the most of this opportunity that has been presented to him.
Oh, that's a nasty reposition.
That is sick.
That is a nasty reposition.
He takes a few steps back. Exit. Oh, he's not going to be able to pull it off, but what a nice try from Exit. That was ridiculous how close he got.
That's a 1v5 that comes down into that. That's a beautiful shooting from Exit, but you got to say as well for 9Z, like, you don't win a round like that without mistakes, and I think this was a little bit of ego, a little bit of overconfidence of saying, yeah, you got the first, but it's a 4-1. There's 2 of us here. We're going to get
This
that
fight
trade.
too,
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Man, DGT stays composed.
And it's actually, I mean, all things considered, it might be, there's only 1 round left in the half, but I was going to say it might be a nice wake-up call for 9Z to be like, look, don't think you have the round 1 before you've closed it out.
Oh.
Safe burns.
That's a little Brazilian barbecue. Sani ends this half with 4 kills. Martinez trades instantly. And a follow-up this time from Martinez to Exit.
You can tell MIBR just doesn't really feel super comfortable when they lose a couple players. They don't have great, it feels like a plan that they have set on how they want to react to losing certain players, because everything feels very peaky. Someone goes down, and it's like 9Z just has to wait. Like, someone is going to take a peek. Someone is going to take a fight somewhere. Someone is going to go look for information. So all the chances in the world for 9Z to just pick them apart.
And now just drop stands between them and a 10-2 half. Drops inside a ramp. DGT aware of that. He'll smoke it out. Drop. No longer going to use that access point.
I feel like I felt his sadness in the camera. Yeah, you just like saw his head like, come on.
You know, he's got to go back over towards Hell. Martinez's position in the lockers with the AWP, and he's going to turn. It is 10-2. 9Z. The South Americans look to storm into stage 2 here in Cologne, and it looks like they can do it with just 3 more rounds.
Atrás,
No hay nada dobles.
Ok, dejo ver el ahora.
Tengo rampa.
Deje ver. ¿Cuál es rampa igual a la izquierda? Super. Dobles. Murió. Bien.
Cuidado que está abierto. Rampa.
Ahí por la derecha.
How's your Spanish, Jason?
I know doubles for double doors.
Nice. And I'm sure 9Z loved that one. There's nothing I can add. There's no Spanish that I know. I just know me gusta, and I certainly like what I see right now from 9Z. It's 10-2, and it looks like a pistol round might just end the series, and they're going quick. They're going into the upper bomb side. Buddha's got that first. Jewel Beretta is trying to stop the attack, and it is cleaned up. MIBR, goodbye and good night here on Nuke. 11-2. No bomb plan, no good force buy. It is about to be map and series point for 9Z in the next.
Yeah, MIBR just could never get going. The dominance that 9Z have on this map over them is so powerful. There's nothing they can do. Had to have Ancient, that overtime affair that they forced. Couldn't win it out at the end of the day. And 9Z is just going to march into the next stage, build upon that success in Dallas, and see what they can do in stage 2.
Excited to see what they're going to be able to do. It's they are definitely poisoning themselves as a difficult team to deal with.
Well, they're going to have a conversation about Ancient. We know that.
Definitely going to have a conversation about that because they will probably have to play that in stage 2 at some point.
Yeah, it's the next level of the next stage of competition is they can go deep into the map pool. Awkward around the smoke, but a good opening kill for DGT. Pistols are doing better.
Yeah, they're doing better, but it's now stopped by Martinez. And the bomb hasn't made it out to the side. It feels like they've lost that initial thrust, that initial momentum that could have got them somewhere.
Kind of crazy, even with 2 kills, they didn't really find enough ground to get into the bomb site itself.
Yeah, Martinez comes in from heaven and just saves the day.
He was there with the quickness, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was a quick rotator. And now MIBR are going to slow it down. They're going to give it the best try they can. They have invested everything into this. This was it. This was their T-side.
Huaso Peak should be the man of the hour to spot any kind of outside play. He's not going to worry about them going in towards mini. DGT's got a strong position at the vents, but Huaso Peak just with these timing jiggles outside to see if they're trying to cross over. That's on him. But without utility, without any rifles, MIBR want to roll in. Oh, I think they made a footstep. I think they made a footstep.
Well, Martinez is going to go out and just have a little look now. He's going to spot out one. Can't win the fight. That was a wild maneuver. He thought he could end it right there. But this has got MIBR back into it with 20 seconds, but it's still tough. You've got 2 players to the CT side inside of the site. And with 15 seconds left, that's not a lot of time, and they've just smoked out heaven. Flash to go. Flash could be effective. It's blinded. Huaso Peak, he's going to hear those legs break, and he's going to turn to finish off the job, and not enough time to even plant the bomb here. Insani, round is over. Insani, just running and dancing. He will make it into the next, but 12 rounds for 9Z. No bomb plant again, so MIBR are going to have a pretty much identical buy as they did in the last round.
Yeah, and Sonny got enough kills in that round to pick up, you know, smoke, flashbang, a little bit of utility, so at least have nades to work with. But yeah, it's the weaponry that they're going to be really lacking. And obviously just, I think, you know, 9Z is just overall a couple steps ahead of him on this map. As if they didn't know. He's just helping them out.
Helping them out, yeah. No time, man.
So that's a free consult.
Yep. Well, as you said earlier, you know, MIBR aren't out of this. They've got that lower bracket, that last chance to get into stage 2 later today, and they will face off against the Imperial Pain winners, so that's going to be exciting.
Huaso Peak, once again, going to be the man of the hour. Martinez finds one outside, and Huaso Peak says, you know what? You can have ramp room. I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. Let's see what you do next. They've got 2 smokes in Molly, so if they feel like they can get down here, they have the utility to find some safety at this B bomb site if they can get past Max and Huaso Peak.
Yeah, that is a big problem. Getting past Max and Huaso Peak. They've been so sharp. Yeah, P9 is good. Huaso Peak gets a double. Even nearly comes back to finish off the job, but surely they will now find that way. Martinez will storm them into stage 2. 9Z come into the Intel Extreme Masters from a fantastic run in Dallas to now making stage 2 in Cologne. This is a team whose move to Europe seems to have paid off, and I am so excited to see what this team is capable of in the next stage.
And we get that classic South American hype over there as they're all